From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon and welcome to your MTN Noon News for this Monday. I'm Hailey, Monaco. We are tracking a developing situation in Stillwater County. Now, details are extremely limited, but we do know that law enforcement are investigating what they call a critical incident. MTN News has confirmed through multiple sources that several people have been shot. While the nature of the situation is still unknown, witnesses say they started seeing many police cars in and around Stillwater River Road between Absaroka and Nye starting at around 3:40 this morning. According to the Stillwater County Sheriff's Office, the suspect is in custody and there's no threat to the public. We will keep you updated both on air and online as we learn more. Montana State survived a gritty test over the weekend against Yale to keep its championship hopes alive. MTN's Tom Wiley explains the Bobcats are focused on tightening things up before the quarterfinals.
Montana State is moving on to the FCS quarterfinals after a 21-13 win over Yale in the second round of the playoffs. But as Brent Vigen said, a playoff win is a playoff win, but there is a lot to clean up on the Bobcats' quest for a championship. The Bobcats controlled stretches of the game, but it was far from a smooth or complete performance. The offense struggled to find a rhythm, and the defense was tested by Yale's physical ground attack. Head coach Brent Vigen didn't sugarcoat things.
You know, I think ultimately that wasn't our best performance. This time of year, it's about finding a way to get yourself another opportunity, and we did that.
MSU forced 4 turnovers to stay in front. Defensive tackle Paul Brott said the physicality surprised people who underestimate Ivy League football.
They're a great team. Yale was a good team. They're very physical. I mean, you wouldn't think that for the Ivy League. That's what people think. But, yeah, we won the game, but we got a lot of work on.
Offensively, running backs Julius Davis and Adam Jones supplied the spark in the second half. Jones' touchdown came just moments after a crucial fourth-down conversion.
Overall, it was a pretty sluggish day for the offense, and we knew we had to score on that drive, and I was happy they kind of got it blocked up, and I saw a little crease, and I was just happy we got in the end zone that drive.
After the game, a confrontation between head coach Brent Vigen and Davis was caught on ESPN's cameras and made national headlines. Davis has since issued an apology on social media, but his backfield partner knows the entire team has to do better.
All that extra stuff after the game, that's not how Montana State is. That's not what we want to represent here, so I think that was a focus is when we win the game, we're going to go and sing that fight song, and then we're going to go pray and get in the locker room. So
the Bobcats now move into the quarterfinals against Stephen F. Austin. One win closer to Nashville, but well aware the margin of error will only get smaller.
You know, winning in the playoffs is not easy, so obviously we're happy to get that win. We're going to look at that film and we're gonna get better. So
you have to play well this time of year. You have to keep getting better. It wasn't easy. It's not supposed to be this time of year.
Tom Wiley, MTN Sports.
Meanwhile, the Montana Grizzlies also moving on in the FCS playoffs. The Grizz rolled past South Dakota State and are now in a wide open field of 8. MTN's Kyle Hansen breaks down the win as the Grizz looked the part of a championship contender.
Well, it was as complete a performance as the Montana Grizzlies have had all season long, as UM took down South Dakota State on Saturday here at Washington Grizzly Stadium in the second round of the FCS playoffs. And it was the team's biggest stars coming through in the biggest moment. While the start was sluggish, once Montana got rolling, the Grizz couldn't be stopped. The progression of sophomore quarterback Hailey has been at the forefront of the season, and the signal caller delivered his best performance to date, going 29 for 37 with 360 yards passing and 4 scores.
Our offense was clicking. I thought the game was moving slow for him today. He was seeing everything the way he needed to see it. I mean, everything from seeing the corner blitz and hurting him there. He was on the money. He did a great job today.
Oh yeah, he's a gamer. He's a leader out there, and like you said, when he's operating like that, it's fun. And it's fun, this offense. We feed off each other, like Coach Houck said. We're all out there to make plays, so when people are making plays, we get fired up, rally off that.
Eli Gilman continued to climb the record books as well, with 2 touchdowns and 135 yards rushing, while Michael Wortham also played a major role with over 100 yards receiving and another touchdown, while the likes of Drew Deck and Stevie Rocker Jr. also found the end zone, as the offense attacked SDSU from every angle, with Ayat getting everyone involved.
I think the main thing, we have guys that can make plays throughout our offense. I think the best thing is You know, you read the stat sheet and everyone wants to talk about touches and targets and all that crap. They don't care about that. All they care about is getting one more point than the other team. That's why this works.
Defensively, that unit got a boost from the return of corner Keon Loud, who made an instant impact. Solomon Tuliaupupu wreaked havoc in the backfield against the Jackrabbits with 3 tackles for loss, and the defense settled in after a rocky first quarter. Montana trailed 14-6 at the end of the first quarter, but by the fourth quarter and 30 unanswered points later, the Grizz were in complete control as they exacted revenge on the Jackrabbits and now are just one of 8 teams remaining in a now wide-open playoff field. And they have a date with the South Dakota Coyotes next Saturday in Missoula in the quarterfinal round.
Went in the last game 11-0 and didn't feel like the ball bounced our way much in that game and came out of there with a loss. I kind of attitudinally go the way the team goes, and our team was fired up to get back into game week this week, and it showed today.
Reporting in Missoula, Kyle Hansen, MTN Sports.
So stick around. Coming up, we're going to try to break down what's going on. We have this energy pushing through, not only giving us some snow, a lot of snow in some parts of the mountains, but also some very strong winds. That's going to be a big story as well. First off, let's just take a look at some temperatures across the region. Helena sitting at 48, 40 in Missoula, up in Havre we're at 39, Jordan at 38, down in Billings we're at 40, 44 in Miles City, Cody at 46, 43 right now in Sheridan. We do have some snow and some rain to talk about. But here's the big story. Those winds really starting to pick up. Just had a gust over 61 miles an hour there in Livingston. I'll explain why. A lot of stuff to break down, and we'll do that coming up here in just a few minutes.
The Montana Fish and Wildlife Commission is extending the bison hunting season. The closing date will move to the end of February, while the opening day stays November 15th. The commission also approved a change in Hunting District 385 along Yellowstone's north boundary, shifting from a fixed number of licenses to a quota range. That move could increase the number of available licenses up to 60. Officials say the change helps migrating bison respond to weather, which often determines when they move out of the park and onto state land. In addition, the commission also signed off on changes for black bears and mountain lions. Bear season now runs through June 15th, and the archery quota is getting a 30% bump. Hunters will also see new bonus points added for limited draw permits. For mountain lions, the winter season is extended to May 25th, but tracking dogs can't be used in grizzly territory after April 14th. And the commission approved 3 new unlimited lion licenses divided across 4 regions. A Browning woman says she was brutally attacked by a pack of dogs while walking along a route she takes almost every day. Witnesses say they found her on the ground, surrounded by multiple dogs, and now the incident is raising concerns about increasingly aggressive dogs in the community. MTN's Anissa Coomer reports.
I just don't want that to happen to anybody else, because I really thought I was going to die. It was scary.
Janelle Goings was walking into town on December 2nd. On a route she takes often, passing a property with several dogs.
They've barked at me like previous, and like the owner would come and like tell them to go in, so I thought it was just like, you know, any other day, and they'd stop.
But Janelle says this day was different. As she walked past the residence, she says the dogs surrounded her and attacked.
But one jumped on top and it bit me on the head, and it scared me because I was like realized I was getting bit, you know. And then one got my arm and they jerked me to the ground and they just start biting everywhere. I could just feel them all over me, and I was screaming. I was screaming for a while, and I think I was in shock for most of the time, but all I could think of was I was gonna die. I was helpless. There was nothing I could do.
Thanks to a wrong turn, 2 men on a nearby road spotted the attack as they drove by.
Kind of what we thought was like they were kind of ripping up a deer or something, and then we got closer and it was Janelle.
My first thought was jump out, and I shot first thing in the air, and the dogs didn't really run far, but after I started running towards them with the gun, then they kind of start running away.
I'm still kind of shocked about it. I'm just glad we were there at the right place, you know, at the right time, and thank God we took that wrong turn.
The Blackfeet Fish and Wildlife Animal Control Division released a statement saying animal control responded immediately, and based on information from homeowners and witnesses, 3 dogs were involved. But some witnesses and Goings herself say the number of dogs was much higher.
I'd say 8 to 10 was, that's quite a bit of dogs. Maybe 4 bigger dogs and a lot of smaller dogs, but they had her, she was laying on the ground, the dogs were like completely surrounded around her.
The statement also says 2 of the 3 dogs were located and secured. But Janelle believes all of the dogs are still at the residence.
There was more than 3 dogs. I know that for a fact. And I don't know, they said 1 was still missing or something. I don't know about that, but I've seen the dogs myself last night and the night before. They're all still there.
Residents say aggressive dogs are a growing problem in Browning.
We have people walking around with bats, sticks to protect themselves from the dogs because you just cannot walk anywhere anymore. And it's not a joke and it's not funny. And I'm like, there's all these red flags and everybody's ignoring them. And I just think it's time we step up as a community and get something done about it.
Goings says she's grateful to be alive and hopes her experience prompts action.
I know a lot of people that have gotten bit or, you know, have similar instances as mine. There's just so many dogs here. I feel like there's something needs to be done. What if it's a kid, you know?
The Blackfeet Fish and Wildlife Department says it will provide updates as new information becomes available and remain committed to ensuring public safety. In Browning, Anissa Coomer, MTN News.